Welcome to this broadcast from Fellowmind. Today's topic is about low-code business process automation in Microsoft C365. We have a busy agenda today. Peter and I will be in the studio, and we also have a colleague with us from Poland joining in. Let's just focus on the agenda here, and we'll have the presentation afterwards. Today's agenda is about low-code solutions. First, we will look into why there's a need for solutions like that. We will look into how they play a role in the enterprise IT landscape, and also how to select the right tools on the market. We are working with different providers, and we will present some of them here. And at the end, we will present one of our partners called Webcon, with their tool, and we have Mark with us from Webcon as well. So just a few words about myself. I'm a director in Fellowmind Denmark. Been working with the business process automation and BPM for the last 15 years or so. And I have Peter with me here as well. Peter, maybe a few words about yourself.
Yes, I'm located in our Aalborg office. I'm a manager for our business process management. I've also been working with these technologies for decades, nearly, yeah. And also as an architect, but now I have a role where I look into the different products on the market and which tools to use when. And that's what we will come into.
We also have Mark with us.
Yeah.
Hi, Mark. Maybe a few words about yourself and welcome. Thanks for joining our broadcast today. Just share your live picture.
So thank you very much for having me on board. As Boris mentioned, my name is Mark Mulder. I'm a pre-sales consultant with Webcon, a low-code platform. And after Boris and Peter give a general introduction about why low-code makes sense in the enterprise environment, I'll be shining a light on it from the Webcon perspective.
Okay. Thank you, Mark. And let's look into it. When looking at these low-code solutions or no-code solutions, they're also named. Why are customers choosing a tool like these?
Yeah, customers choose these type of tools because historically they have the ERP systems. They have bought some silo systems that have for different functional requirements. They choose a generic solution that fits all the market. Now we can provide solutions that is no more and no less. It's exactly what the customer needs. And we connect to the existing systems with this platform. And also we can quite fast render a form, visualize something for the customer. Historically, we coded everything from the bottom. It took some time. Now customers, with the Power Platform, we have the canvas. We can easily render something, talk with the customer about it. It lives up to the low code, which also Mark will show with the Webcon product.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's basically about speed. I mean, time to market, being able to build something quickly. Right, but also about efficiency, of course. That when we look into business process management, the part is basically also to try to automate processes and make the business more efficient.
Customers are really surprised these days because they don't understand how fast we actually can provide something and make a solution that have some functionality. Yeah. Not the complex ones, but we can still give them something that they can identify to and we can build on.
And we can also see Gartner and other of these analytical tools, analytics companies are acknowledging that there's a market for this. As you can see on the slide here, that Gartner estimates that a lot of the application development of today will be done by low-code solutions in the future.
Yeah.
We also have other statements from other companies here. I'm not going into the details here, but I think there's a term here that Gartner coined called citizens developers. What is that, Peter? Is that
Yeah, I would say it's a Microsoft term, because they say you can just let loose and let everybody in your company use these tools, and they can build fantastic application. And that's not our experience, to be honest, because they can easily do something that are business critical. They can also build themselves up in a corner. They can have performance issues, delegation warnings, so on. We have seen customers building something and they report we have performance issues. Yes, you have built it on an Excel sheet with 50,000 plus lines. Of course you have performance issues.
absolutely?
So we with our experience, we have some general guidelines and some governance and some best practices on how to get started and how to build things.
Yeah. And that maybe also when you talk about these tools, there's still this need for governance.
Exactly.
For how does it fit into the IT landscape, right?
Yeah.
When you talk about that, you can either have standard tools, standard applications. You can also develop something, and you can use these tools in between there as well.
You need a fundament. You can set up some guidelines how to use it. Which data connection should you use? You have to ask the business how many entries do you expect? How complex is it? And then you have to choose the right, because the Power Platform, for instance, it's the glue on the whole Office 365 platforms. You can use Dataverse, you can use Excel, SharePoint, everything, and you have a lot of these things, and you have to choose the right platform for the right task.
Yeah, absolutely. And also, we typically use these tools also for integrations between different applications when you need to move data in a process, right?
Yeah.
There's also these terms about shadow IT. If the business don't get what they need, they will go out and buy something else.
We see that a lot. We actually get quite a lot of requests from even our enterprise customers that with a huge IT department and the functions and the business, they're really asking for solutions, and the IT cannot keep on track with it, and then they start building something in the corners with these platforms, and that's even why it's more why we have to mention that the governance and the master data and best practices has to be followed, because otherwise it's just anarchy, and you end up with having an IT isolated landscape that might be potentially business critical.
So IT architecture and governance is still important.
It's still important.
We maybe even more important when you're using tools like this.
We have some of our consultants have customers that have built themselves up in a corner, or where we say you have to rebuild or you have to start, because of course you get performance issues with this. So the citizen developer, I know Mark will show a tool that in regards to the citizen developer, we have some tools where instead of having dialogue with when IT personnel or consultants need input from customers, we have some tools to map these processes in a graphical way. I know Mark will show that. So it's easier for the function to describe it and then deliver it, pass it on to IT, so they can deliver on it. You don't have to start on whiteboards. You can reuse some of these things.
So that's also about speed. I mean, being able to build prototypes and get
a citizen developer that has access to the Power Platform can easily make a form for visualization or something, gather some information. But as soon as it starts getting just a little bit of complexity with workflows and so on, and maybe integrations, I would recommend them to involve IT.
Yeah. We're working with different tools today. See the presentation here. We've just listed some of them here. We have Webcon, who's with us today. We're also working with Nintex. I think we were the first partner in Denmark to work with Nintex. Been working with them for 15 years or more. We're working, of course, with Microsoft, and the Power Platform is big at the moment. And we're also working with Workpoint, a Danish company that also provides software for these this. When you need to select the right vendor, what would you advise our customers to do?
Yeah, of course, you have to look into. You have to look at the IT landscape. You have to look on their general strategy, IT strategy? Is it a one-off application they need for just booking a car or something, or do they need a platform? Do they have a large landscape of forms they want to make set power to and optimize? There's a lot of questions on, and also, are you on premises or are you cloud-based? Then you can set some check marks and choose the right tool for which when these tools will fit your need. But one thing we can say about them all is that instead of our historical, where we coded solutions, just having .NET Studio coded, they are very much based on visualization. It's drag and drop. It's not that you don't need to have a developer experience.
Okay. So some of the things that we're looking at is basically what is the problem that we are trying to solve. Is there a need for a tool? Is there a simple process we can solve elsewise with the standard software, or is it something we need to have a tool to do?
Something
or is it something we need to develop? Some of the other things maybe is also about the vendor itself. What's their position in the market?
Yeah.
Have they been there for a long time? How is their robustness? Will they be here tomorrow? Maybe some of the things that we are looking into when we try to advise on selecting the right tool. We also, of course, look at the capabilities and feature sets of the tools. What does they offer in respect of features and so on. So of course that's important, and of course pricing and so on.
You can say with the Power Platform, we've been working quite a lot with that platform for years now. In the start, it wasn't that mature because we had problems. There were updates weekly or monthly, so that we could build things. And now it's a totally new, other platform than when they launched it.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's as you see in the slides here. That's some of the things we look at when we provide the guidance on what tool to use. I think what we aim to deliver the best and the most unbiased consulting around this. We're not tied together with one partner or the other. We try to focus on the situation and what's, in our opinion, will be the best solution and best tool for the solution.
There are quite a lot of, there are even more than we have listed of these low-code platforms. So you can choose to we just want to give you an insights to what the potentials are and a taste of when to choose the right one.
Yeah. Okay. So what we'll do now, this was just an introduction to the topic itself and some of the tools. What we would like to do now is to give an introduction to Webcon that we're working with, and thankfully we have Mark with us today, and Mark, your presentation also. We'll just switch screen here. I hope you can see my presentation now.
Yeah, everything is clear. Thank you very much for the generic introduction of some quite interesting topics that you've touched on with citizen development that I'll be hooking into. As you mentioned, there's quite a lot of low-code tools. I'm here from a Webcon perspective, and I understand very well that if you have a hammer, right, everything looks like a nail, but I will try to keep a neutral approach and cover points that are interesting to everybody. From Webcon, once again, my name is Mark Mulder, pre-sales consultant, and I will do this today with the title Low Code for Adults. So why do we consider ourselves low code for adults? If you could flip the slide, Boris. So this is on one side because Webcon Webcon BPS actually as a tool has been around for over 16 years. So we are almost reaching adulthood when it comes to the time we've been working with low code. Low code has become quite a buzzword, and it has been recognized by the Gartners and the Forresters recently. So there's a lot of small startups around low code, and right now everybody is screaming that they are low code. Well, we've been at this for like quite a long time. We've seen a lot of customers, and so we say we are low code for adults. Since we have been doing this for such a long time, directly with customers and also through an extensive network of partners, including FellowMind, we know how to deliver. So we know what happens within the organization when you deliver a low-code application. And we know from our customers that there's only some amount of time used during the development and the low-code part, but there is way more that comes into play when it comes to delivering applications. So we recognize that application configuration or development, as you would say in a non-low-code environment. In low-code, we use configurations since you're not developing, but it's not the same as delivering an application to your organizations. Our customers say that like 20% of the actual application lifecycle and the time you invest in it is the development or the initial configuration. And after that, you need to be able to support it from your IT. You need to keep it running. It's going to be changing over time. And that is really where you spend a lot of time on your applications. So I would like to focus on, so what is there outside application configuration that you should keep in mind? So if you could move to the next slide, Peter, first, and then once more. Yeah, so there's, in the middle, you have like the development or configuration of an application where we also think we make a difference because it's really easy to build and develop within Webcon. But then after that comes the maintenance, the not so sexy part of delivering an application, but a very, very important part. And if you have low-code applications being built and then afterward IT can't maintain it and it turns into a stability and maintenance nightmare, then that is not going to be a successful implementation of your low-code business process. So that is the one end of the spectrum. Then on the other end of the spectrum, there's the business analysis. And this comes into play when we're speaking about citizen development. We have our own view on this that I'll cover. So for business analysis, we recognize that your business and your citizen is extremely important because they know their processes. And that's usually where the need for a process is going to arise. But we can't exclude IT. We need to have governance by IT.
Yeah, and I think, Mark, sorry for interrupting, but that's where your tool is really strong. You focus on the entire life cycle of development, from the analysis to the maintenance part as well.
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
So then around all of this, we have what we call our instant change technology. So those 4 topics I would like to cover today and explain a bit more about how our tool handles those topics. So first of all, development. What we have over there, easy drawing of processes, drag and drop, not too complicated notation. We don't want to go in a BPM and 2.0 notation because then nobody will eventually understand it except for the IT people. We would like the business to understand what you're drawing as well. So then on top of that, easy and powerful forms. It's very simple to define your forms, add fields, very straightforward. And then on top of that, as soon as you build an application, it's immediately available on all possible devices. So it's scalable for different screen sizes. We have native Android or iOS applications. And on top of that, we integrate natively with the Microsoft 365 framework. So we have an Outlook plugin, we have a Teams plugin, we have a Word plugin to bring the process to your users, because often they are in Outlook and Teams, whether you like it or not. Even if you introduce a fantastic portal, that's where they are, so that's where we are. But that's sort of what most low-code tools do, like I said. Looking at maintenance, what do we add on top of that? So with our tool, you can generate or update documentation with the push of a single button. And I think you all recognize building an application is one thing, and then at some point you want to go live. But then, oh yeah, we also need to have everything documented for our users. And this takes huge amounts of time. And then every version, every change you do, you have to go back, update the documentation. So for IT, this is where a lot of time gets invested. And like I said, we have this with the push of a button, you can generate full app documentation. So this can be one less headache.
Really cool feature.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So Another topic is migrating from dev to test to prod environments. So either go still back, yeah, exactly. So migrating can be really complex, especially if you have a lot of connections to external systems. In our case, this is a matter of copy pasting one process from dev to test, and then even contextually, we will know that we're speaking to the right connected system. So your test WebCon environment doesn't start filling data into your production ERP system, which could be quite painful. So we give a lot of contextual error messages so your user will know what is going wrong, because usually we see this, that the user contacts IT, something is not working, I have a bug, but they don't know exactly what and why, and they don't give a good explanation. So then on top of that, from a technical perspective, we are scalable, open architecture, and our solution can be run on-premise, in the cloud, or in a SaaS model. So we are fully open from that perspective. And then there is the citizen development, or we like to call citizen assisted development. And what we've done is we introduced a separate tool for your citizens. And this is not low code, but it's entirely no code. So this is a place where your citizen will feel happy defining processes, and they could sit down with a functional IT expert and do rapid prototyping. And I can talk about this for a long time, but we actually have a great video that explains this tool. So I would ask Boris to start the video. It's going to be much more visual and interesting than listening to me talk about it for 10 minutes.
Yeah, let's start the video then.
Building a workflow or a business process solution starts with gathering requirements. But all too often, it's not clear where to start or what information matters most. In many cases, it leads to the following scenario. The user asks for this. IT understands it a bit differently. That's what gets delivered. And then we all realize we actually needed something else. If your projects take months, with countless meetings, and still no one's happy, you're not alone. It'd be great if the IT department could read users' minds, but that only works in movies. But now there's another way, a better way. WebCon Designer Desk. Designer Desk is a free online tool to illustrate user needs, test out prototypes, and document requirements. With WebCon Designer Desk, you build better applications in less time, for less money, and with a lower risk of miscommunication. Here's how it works. Get IT and users together, and instead of whiteboards, a bunch of Visio and Word documents, or figuring out how to explain BPMN 2.0 notation, just drag, drop, and draw what needs to happen in your application, what data you need to present, and what data you need to collect. Provide just enough detail about how you want it to behave, and voila, you have a working prototype. Now take it for a test drive. See how it works. And if it's not quite right, that's okay. Critique it and improve it. Test it again and repeat until you're happy. Then you push one button and Designer Desk generates a document that IT can use to deliver the real thing, no matter if it's done in-house or by a vendor, no matter what tools they use to build it. If a picture is worth 1,000 words, a prototype is worth 1,000 meetings. That's with no code, no overcomplicated notation, and no learning curve. Just better communication, better time to business, and more accurate project delivery. Try Designer Desk now at www.designerdesk.webcon.com. It's completely free. Ah, wait, there was one more thing. WebCon has a state-of-the-art low-code platform of its own. If you use it to build your final application, IT can import what you did in Designer Desk. So the application builder is already half finished with the project before they even start. Always secure, scalable, and easy to evolve. So IT can own it with confidence. We call this concept Citizen-Assisted Development. And you can learn more about it at citizens.webcon.com.
So, back to the presentation, and I hope you can hear me, Mark. Fantastic video.
Yes.
So, the scene is yours again.
So I hope the video gives everybody an overview of what our Designer Desk enables you to do. The last topic I would like to cover is our instant change technology. So this is, I think, a killer feature, very, very important to consider, because it allows you to change mid-process. So imagine that you have a business application implemented and you have hundreds or even thousands of process instances running, and at some point you need to change your process. This might sound trivial, but it's not so easy to actually handle this, and we see a lot of tools have issues with this. So with our instant change technology, you can very easily change your process mid-process with running instances without running into walls or doing kind of loops and backflips to restart the processes. So this is really important. It also means you don't have to fear your go live. And I've seen this in a lot of instances where a team doesn't want to go live because they know that once we go live, then the IT team and the resources get moved to another project and I'll have to live with it for the next year. So with instant change, you don't have to worry. Go live and change it if you need to. So it also allows you to make mistakes. If you have new processes that you want to digitize, don't worry, you do so. And if something doesn't work out the first time, just update it. And from a DevOps perspective, implementing things like continuous improvement, continuous development means you need to be able to change things quickly. So this is very well covered thanks to our instant change technology. And then the last thing, I would like to encourage you not to take my word for it. What else would I say? Working at Webcon, best way from my perspective is to listen to what our customers have to say about our platform. So have a look at our Gartner Peer Insights rating to see what our customers think. And well, whenever you're considering a low-code platform, I would say great idea to consider Webcon.
Super. Thank you, Mark. Interesting.
Thank you.
I know Peter and I have done some configuration in Webcon ourselves, and we like the product a lot. There's a lot of cool features in there. Instant technology, instant change. Also the rendering of the documentation is really a cool feature.
And also we haven't touched some of the technical aspects, but you can also generate PDFs. So you can it has some AI recognition of fields, so you can scan invoices and process them with workflows. One of the things I like with Webcon is that you have, with the meetings we have had with customers, there haven't been anything that we couldn't solve with the Webcon platform. And if you distribute it in your business, multiply your forms, they always look the same. You can see the steps you have to go to. You can see whether it is currently so. Whatever, if it's a HR process or a production or operation or something, it looks similar.
Yeah, absolutely. And it also performs as the way it's built, the architecture behind that. Yeah. So we have one final slide. I don't know if there's any questions or comments so far. I know there's been some technical issues, but it will be an on-demand broadcast as well, so you can look at it afterwards. But we'd like to thank you for attending, and thank you a lot, Mark. It was really a pleasure to have you here, and looking forward to doing more work together.
Yeah, thank you for having me, and thanks for everybody for attending, of course. I hope everybody enjoyed it. And as the slide says, we hope to welcome you for the follow-ups.
Absolutely. And if you have any questions, comments, or you want to see more, please do not hesitate to reach out to Peter or I, and we'll try to help you as good as we can. Yeah. We can have the slide up again, Brian. You can see here it's actually possible to try out the tool for yourself on a free demo. There's a link here, but otherwise, get in contact with me or with Peter, and we'll try to help you best way possible. I think that's all I had for today, Peter. Yeah. And Mark, have anything else?
Feel free to reach out if you have any questions
as well.
Low-code platforms in general, or we need some guidance on how to choose, or if you have any struggles with your current tools, let us know.
Yeah,
let's have a dialogue.
And also, thank you, Mark, for being here.
You're very welcome.
Yeah, thank you for today.
Perfect.